people, hope you are doing well. In today's lesson we are going to see a very important verb when it comes to meeting someone for the first time. It doesn't have a literal translation into English. It's the verb llamarse. And in English we use this verb when we are asked about our own name. I say, my name's Sergio. What's your name? My name's Sergio. So llamarse means to have a proper name, an own name. And I said it doesn't have a literal translation because in English you don't have this pronoun, se. In most verbs that this pronoun appears, the pronoun refers to oneself, to the self. But there are exceptions. For example, before we get into this, tratarse, this is a verb, for example, that we would use for example, if we say this is about this situation. Esto se trata de esta situación. In that case, it's not referred to oneself because we are talking about something that something whose topic is a peculiar thing. So it's got nothing to do with oneself. But in this case, llamarse, it refers to the name that one has. And we only, besides we have the verb llamar without the se, it's another verb that's got nothing to do with this one. This is llamar, it means to call someone on the phone, llamar a alguien por teléfono. And llamarse is to have one's name. So this means to have a proper name. As in my case, Sergio. To have a proper name. We are going to conjugate it because this se is in the third person of the singular. And it will change according to each person. It doesn't keep the same all throughout the conjugation. Let's see. Yo, I'm going to put the name, the verb, and leave a space on purpose. Yo llamo Sergio. Tú llamas Jorge, George. So we're gonna conjugate the verb llamar and add the respective pronoun for each person. In my case, you already know that pronoun. Yo me llamo. Tú te llamas. Él, ella, se, the third person. Se llama, él se llama Brian. Ella se llama Elizabeth, for example. And remember that in the case of the formal usted always follows this conjugation. Although it is the second person in the singular, its conjugation is the same as this one. So, usted se llama William, for example. Let's see the plurals. Nosotros, nosotras, nos llamamos. Nosotros, nosotras nos llamamos. Vosotros in Spain, vosotras. Os llamáis. In Latin America, ustedes se llaman. Remember that this ustedes follows this conjugation. I don't know if the word is follows. I mean, it coincides with this conjugation. Ellos, ellas se llaman. So we have the whole conjugation in the present tense, of course. For now, we are seeing the present. It's enough for now to see this tense, the present tense, because verbs in Spanish are difficult, are complex. Then you'll see that by using them many times, you get used to them. So here we have the whole conjugation, and here it is. And to say one's name, when one says their own name, the question, the right question for that is this one. ¿Cómo te llamas? This doesn't have, a literal translation into English, because this is the adverb how. Some people say that it's as if we said, how do you call yourself? But in my opinion, it doesn't make any sense at all, even for us, native Spanish speakers, because I never call myself, hey Sergio, vení. I never call myself, no one does it. So we cannot say that in a literal way. It's just the translation into English, the way English speakers say this is, what's your name? What's your name? So, what's your name? My name's Sergio. ¿Cómo te llamas? And remember the conjugation that we've just seen. It's not necessary to say yo, because remember that this o gives all the information that we need. Me llamo Sergio. The common questions are the following, because I'm going to write the pronouns, the personal pronouns again. Let's see if you figure out what I'm going to do. Sure. Am I going to ask myself about my name? I'm going to write the conjugation in the question, because as for grammar, it does exist, and it can appear in movies or in literature. For example, someone suffering from amnesia. ¿Cómo me llamo? What's my name? I don't remember my name. What's my name? But in everyday life, we never use that question. I'm going to put it here so that you know how it'd be, but I repeat, you may come to see that question in fiction. So, for the first pronoun in the singular, it'd be como me llamo. But again, it's very rare that you come to hear this question. This instead is very, very common, como te llamas, because it means that in a dialogue we are talking to other person and who is talking to us as well. So I'm asking a person I've just met, ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas? Sorry. Me llamo Ricardo, Richard. For the third person, it's very common as well when we are asking about someone that the other person knows. For example, the other person starts talking about a man or a woman he or she has just met, and we ask them, ¿Cómo se llama esa persona? What's that man's name, or what's that woman's name? So it's very common. Again, the first person in the plural, no, it's even less common than this one. That itself is very, very rare. It would be como nos llamamos. It doesn't make any sense. I'm not going to write it because you won't hear and use it ever in your life. The second in the plural, in Spain, como, and do you remember this pronoun? Como os llamáis. And in Latin America, como ustedes, como se llaman. So these two mean what's your name in the plural. And finally, it's common to the third person in the plural, as in English. The use is the same in every language. The first persons in the first person in the singular and the first person in the plural is used is conjugated in specific occasions, mainly in fiction. But let's go back to the third person. What are their names? ¿Cómo se llaman? Ellos o ellas. And it's interesting if you notice that in Spanish this question mark is very useful, the one at the beginning, because it indicates in a longer sentence, it indicates when the question begins. For example, now let's suppose that a new neighbor has moved next door, has just moved next door. So one goes out of the house, of his or her own house and happens to meet this new neighbor. And what would we say in that situation? Hola, buen día, for example. Hola, buen día. These signs indicate that we are well brought up. I mean, we are polite. We are open to meet that new neighbor, and shows enthusiasm and our intention to meet that person that has come to our neighborhood. So, hola, buen día. And the question starts from here. ¿Cómo te llamas? Remember, if the person's young, we use this. We say, ¿Cómo te llamas tú? In a formal situation, if the person's older, if the person's aged, in that case we say, ¿Cómo se llama usted? But let's suppose that the new neighbor is in his 20s, I don't know, in his 30s, even 40s, 50s. That's not considered an aged person, at least in Argentina. Hello, Kitty. My cat's just arrived. Hola, buen día. ¿Cómo te llamas? Now let's make that dialogue with our new neighbor a bit longer, so that you see the use of. On the one hand, we are going to see the use of this new verb, llamarse, this greeting and this question about the other person's name. And on the other hand, we are going to revise, to check some vocabulary and verbs that we already know, that we've already learned. So let's see. Let's imagine how this dialogue will be. And I'm going to make a special mark on the new vocabulary, but you yourselves try to guess their meaning. Let's start. Let's get started. So, hola. Soy el nuevo vecino. Mucho gusto. This is new. Mucho gusto. ¿Cómo te llamas? Me llamo Richard. Let's say Richard. Ricciardo, because in Spanish it's Ricardo. Well, let's use the Spanish name. Me llamo Ricardo. ¿Y tú? Do you see? This sign is very useful, the question mark at the beginning, because it's got to do with intonation. Me llamo Ricardo. ¿Y tú? So the question starts here. Yo me llamo Sergio. In this case, we most times use the pronoun because, I mean, although this doesn't need this, it shows contrast. I mean, your name's Ricardo and my name's is Sergio. My name's Sergio, sorry. So in this case, I'm putting the emphasis here. Me instead, my name's Sergio. Yo me llamo Sergio. ¿Vives solo, Sergio? It's not impolite in Spanish to ask this. In other languages, in other cultures, I'd rather say it is, it may be. Let's see its meaning later, but let's see if you can guess it. ¿Vives solo, Sergio? No. Vivo con mi pareja. Con mi pareja. ¿Y tú? Well, let's make a break here because we don't have more space on the board. So let's see. Hola, soy el nuevo vecino. You already know this. Hola, hello. Soy el nuevo vecino. So I'm the new neighbor. Mucho gusto. This is new. Mucho gusto. ¿Cómo te llamas? Well, we've already seen this. Me llamo Ricardo. ¿Y tú? Yo me llamo Sergio. ¿Vives solo, Sergio? This is new too. No, I don't. No, I was going to say it in English. No, vivo con mi pareja. ¿Y tú? Well, all this is new. But I guess that you've already guessed some of the meanings. Mucho gusto because of the intonation. What do you think it may be? Mucho gusto. We just met someone and say, hi, mucho gusto. Hola, mucho gusto. ¿Cómo te llamas? So this is our way to say delighted, nice to meet you. The most similar to nice to meet you, and we use it as well, is it's the same as this one in meaning. Encantado. Encantado means delighted, but de conocerte means to meet you. This te is you. Encantado de conocerte. Delighted and delighted or nice to meet you. ¿Vives solo? No, vivo con mi pareja. If I say vivo solo, it means that there's no one else at home anytime. So it means I live alone, I live with someone else. So it means to live. Well, the word vida, life, I guess you already know it. ¿Vives solo, Sergio? No, vivo con mi pareja. This means partner, my partner, maybe boyfriend, girlfriend. We usually use it when a couple, the members of a couple, are not married yet, before marriage. Pareja, partner. Well, mi is very similar to your possessive pronoun my. So this means my. And what do you think this means? With. So this is, let's see the whole sentence, the translation into English. Hello, I'm the new neighbor. Delighted. What's your name? My name's Ricardo. And you? And yours? It'll be yours in English. My name's Sergio. Do you live alone, Sergio? No, I live with my partner. I repeat, in Argentina, it's not a private question. I mean, the other person won't get, won't consider it rude if someone asks them this question.